Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's popular? Okay. So, yesterday was one of those shit days, right? Like, it's just one of those days where you're just like, oh, God, this is a shit day. And so it was already a pretty frustrating day. And going through the day, just doing my regular work on my roles, and then I come across a few stories. And I was talking to my wife about it later last night, all right? And I was talking to her about some of the stuff I had heard on like news, radio, and stuff like that. And then more specifically, this deal with this guy out in Miami was requesting the police to no longer provide security services for the Miami Dolphins if they continue to kneel. And that was kind of trivial, you know what I'm saying? Because he's no one that can make them not do it. And they've got a contract to do it, so you know that's a non-starter. But what caught my attention, or what was brought to my attention by my wife, is she was just strolling around on the news and stuff, and then she shows me this video of this brother in Tulsa, and you're probably hearing a lot about it. If you haven't heard about it, then you're hearing about it now. This brother in Tulsa got shot down by this female police officer or police woman in Tulsa. Now, here's the part that really, I'm watching it. I'm watching the video. And I had to watch the video a couple times. There's multiple videos, right? For some reason, her dash cam wasn't on. It was never turned on. I went back and read a few articles, one from ABC, one from Washington Post. I read a few articles, right? You have the very first video that I saw was from took it from a FLIR camera on a helicopter. FLIR camera. Used to operate those and repair those when I was in Iraq and Afghanistan as a contractor. I'm just gonna throw that out there. So they're watching this through the FLIR camera, and they're like hovering over the area and watching this thing goes down, right? And there's a car, there's an SUV. I'm painting the picture for you. There's an SUV in the middle of the road. You stop. The guy's got his hands up, and he's like down by in front of the police, and he's walking towards his car, and they're following him, and then he turns to his car, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, I'm thinking that maybe some went down, maybe he was running from the police and they caught him, maybe he just robbed somebody, maybe it was in the middle of a carjacking, I didn't know, I'm just watching it. And because I hear the guy in the helicopter, they're talking, they're narrating the whole thing, and they're like, he looks like a big bad dude, or something like that. He looks like a bad dude, or something to that effect, right? Is what the officer says, and you can hear him in the recording from the helicopter. Okay, so the guy walks towards his vehicle, puts his hand on his vehicle, and then turns and they tase him. Then she shoots him. Right, and you can hear the narration and the guy and the officer inside of the helicopter. He's like, okay, looks like he's gonna get tased now. They're gonna take him down with a taser. All right, and they did tase him, but then the female officer shot him. And the way the angle is, you can't really see at what point the shot follows the tasing, but you do see him down, and then you see him like down, but his head's cut up, then his head is down. So it seemed like it was like a zap. Then I'm zapped for tasing. Zap, and then it's not a funny thing. You know how I'm sorry. It's zap and then pow, right? And then his head is down. And then you hear her say, "Shots fired, right? And then the helicopter circles around a bit more and then pulls out. Then on another video, you can see it from the back from dash cams, where the guy is walking towards his vehicle, puts his hand on the vehicle, and then they tase him, and then pow, shots fired. And then there's this strange thing going on where it's like three cops together, because the female cop, she comes back and she goes off to the side around the vehicle. And the three cops are together, and they're kind of like grouped together, and they're backing up slowly as if they were dragging something. And I couldn't tell what they were dragging. My wife is like, maybe they're dragging off the taser thing. Maybe I don't know. It just looked really weird. I couldn't tell. And there's no real good angle except for that overhead angle, because you can clearly see when they engage them, right? So that's not in question. When you go back and you read the articles, or you read one of the news stories, there is no weapon. He had no weapon. He had no weapon in the car. He had no weapon on his person, right? So he was unarmed. No weapon, right? And then you read further into this story, and because I'm wondering, like, what the hell are they out there for? Why, what the hell's going on? So there was a report that someone called in saying that there was a vehicle stopped in the middle of the road. Apparently his car had broken down. So watch out when your car breaks down, you could get killed. You know what I'm saying? And not by other motorists. So his car broke down. It's in the middle of the road. Someone said something. He's acting kind of weird. I think he's smoking something. In the call in or whatever, in the phone call. This happened. For understand, this happened and the video was released on Friday, or this happened on Friday and the video was just released. I'm going to get more information. I'm going to do more research on it today, and then I will follow this video up. But this is very, very. It's not even just. It's more than just frustrating. It's tiring. And my wife is like, how many times? What the crap? Basically, it's like, what the fuck, right? But I say to her, I was like, and she brought a point. She was like, when's the last time? How long ago did we just see this happen? And I was like, well, honey, let's be truthful about it. This is just what you've seen caught by the media and put out in the media. How many of these things happen that never get brought up or get brought out? You know what I'm saying? And it's tiring. It makes no sense. Like, at one point I was thinking, damn, was she going for her taser and pulled the gun instead? Because there's no reason to shoot. There's like no reason to shoot. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. There's no reason to shoot. There's none. Like, no reason. Guy was 40 years old, college student. He was in college. He could be 40 and going to college. I'm somewhere around that age, and I'm not that high though. I'm not that high. You sons of bitches. I'm not that high. And I'm in school, right? The guy sings in choir. You know what I'm saying? He has a regular job. He had a twin sister. They interviewed her sister. She watched the video, and she was talking about it. And she responded to that, he looks like a big bad dude comment by the cop. And she was saying, that big bad dude is in college to better himself. That big bad dude sings in the choir every week at our church. Now, she did say he may not be a perfect person, but he is doing his best to make the world a better place from his actions, basically, right? So what that means is he might have been in some trouble at some point in his life. He might smoke a little weed every now and then. I don't know. This is me speculating right now, right? But it doesn't appear that he was a criminal. It doesn't appear that he was caught in a criminal act. So how the fuck are you dead? And the funny shit about this, not the funny shit, the damn right insulting shit about this, the shit that just infuriates me is the fucking bomber. They just captured the fucking bomber, dude. The fucking terrorist bomber was brought in alive. I don't understand this shit. How the fuck is it that a cat with no weapons can be killed? And this shit happens all the time. All the fucking time. Like, all the fucking time, right? Killed, murdered, dead, shot, dead from some officer panicking or some poorly trained officer, right? Meanwhile, motherfuckers shoot up a motherfucking movie theater and is brought out alive. Motherfucker shoots a senator. Senator Gabby Gifford shot her in the fucking head. In the fucking head. This guy survives to be brought in and to be on trial. I do not get it. Motherfucker shoot up a church of black people. Shoot up a church. Hate crime, obviously, right? Take him to Burger King on his way to fucking jail. To booking or whatever. I do not get it. Even the fucking bombers, even the Boston bombers, one of them was obviously was killed. He was in a shootout back and forth. Because he got in the shootout back and forth and he was killed, right? But the brother was caught and brought in. I don't understand it. I understand it. I clearly understand it. But I don't fucking understand it. And I'm waiting to see what the excuse will be, because there's always an excuse. There's always some excuse. And there's always people making excuses for the bullshit. But you see, when you have motherfuckers who are clearly engaged in fucking acts of murder on the spot, mass shootings, and you can bring that person in alive, but the person without the weapon is constantly killed, and the person who in some cases wasn't even doing anything fucking wrong, wasn't even doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Just murder, just fucking murder. And believe me, I understand. I mean, there's no way in the world that we're going to stop certain things from happening altogether, right? That includes terrorism. That's my mindset. Because certain things, we live in a world where things are going to happen. You dig what I'm saying? I can understand that. What I don't understand, because this is not acceptable, but I do realize that it will happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just if you think that there's any fucking actions we can take to stop everything bad from happening, you are living in a fairy tale dust land. You may be snorting fairy tale dust, right? I don't know. But what I do know is I don't understand, cannot identify with, nor forgive the motherfuckers who make excuses for this shit, who write this shit off. Oh, Colin Kaepernick. Got it right. I think I got it right. Why is he doing this right now? And why now? Why is he doing, and why couldn't he be doing it a few years ago? Why now? And why can't he do it when such and such? And all that other stuff happened in the past and blah, 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 blah. Because you don't want to deal with it. You don't want to be bothered with it. You want to say that we are all united under the flag and we are all one people. We are all Americans. However, you do not value the life of your fellow Americans. You do not. You do not. If you sit up and make excuses, then you do fucking not. If you don't want to be bothered with it, then you do fucking not. I'm sorry. And we are not all the same. We cannot possibly be. We can't possibly be. Because this should be an outrage any and every motherfucking where across the board. Everybody should be pissed off about this. It shouldn't be that something like this happens and then the natural thing is, oh, you're against police officers because you're not for police brutality. You know what I'm saying? That makes no fucking sense. That makes no sense to me. I don't get it. I don't get the thinking. Some people get caught up in the debate of it all, right? And yeah, I'm going in. Some people get caught up in the debate of it all, right? And well, you talked about hands up, don't shoot, and that never happened, motherfucker. You know that never happened. So yeah, let's forget about everything. Let's forget about all of it. Let's forget about all of it because you made that one point about that one situation and this situation, and that guy responded wrong because he did it. Are you serious? Let me just say this, okay? If we are all Americans, then we should be concerned when anything happens to any of our fellow Americans, and within our nation, within our society, we should be concerned with life in general, right? But to say that you want everyone to be united under this thing and show respect for this thing, but then at the same time, when something happens to only these certain groups, you don't give a fuck. And the only time you really give a fuck is when you want to make an argument about why you shouldn't be voting for Hillary Clinton, who you should not be voting for. Who you should not be voting for. You really shouldn't. You shouldn't be voting for Hillary Clinton. You shouldn't be voting for, or I would say, I would prefer you not to. I would advise that you not vote for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, right? But I digress. That's something else, right? All I'm saying is, this shit makes no sense. Right? If you make excuses, if you are okay with my oppression, then you are my oppressor. You see what I'm saying? Because as they say, an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. We should all be affected by it. So if you are not affected by it, if it doesn't bother you, if you can just change the channel, if it doesn't get your fucking blood boiling to see another person, another human being with a family killed needlessly, right? Then I don't think that we are the same. I cannot look at you and say that you and me are the same. You don't wish me well. You don't care. Because if it's you and I see it happen to you, if I see it happen to, I don't give a fuck what color the person is. If I see it happen, I will be upset by it. We can rage about Americans that were hurt overseas when in a terrorist attack terrorist attack in France, and co-Americans were hurt overseas. We damn sure can rage over that. We want to go to war over that. We want to go to war. We want to burn down. We want to turn the Middle East into a parking lot over that, right? But here at home, we want to make excuses for why it's okay to murder these people, And let me just say, in Tulsa, according to Article 4, it was like 4 months ago, an officer just got sentenced to prison for manslaughter for murdering another unarmed black person. It's not just, no one's making this shit up. It's not being made up, man. I'll hit you guys up when I get more information so I can give some really good detail. But as of right now, I would like to hear from you guys in the comments. You tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you know about it. If you haven't heard about it, check the link below and you can get more information on it. I'm out, man. Fucking out.
Protecting the world from the